Hello everyone and welcome back to the joinDOTA League Season 2. This is going to be the America region and it's Division 1. This is going to be the semifinals of the playoffs. And the winner of this will go ahead and move on to the finals to face SNA as far as the movement between divisions and such and such. This is game 3 of the best of 3, with the series being tied up between NoT Today and Union Gaming 1-1. Content here, this is the English cast brought to you by Heflatv. I am Roxas, and with me once again for this third and final game will be Grandis. How you doing, friend?
Doing wonderfully. I don't know, I have no idea what to expect out of either of these teams.
They've just been weird. Like, that's just the only way to describe them. They've just been weird. It's kind of like you move on from playing like let's take Valve games as an analogy. You're playing Half-Life 2, everything's very linear, very structured, it's all nice, but you just play Gary's mod where just stuff happens, right? And it seems similar because it's in like the same environment, you got the same like sounds and the same engine. It feels very familiar, but it's just so weird and random, right? At least that's how it feels, but at the very least it's been very, very entertaining.
Yeah, definitely a lot of action and spread out movements coming up from these teams. Something a little bit unconventional, which honestly might work to their favor against some of the more established teams. Later on, we'll have to see how the winner of this game goes on to face SNA later on. But I digress. Let's get back into this game. We're going to have some fairly familiar bands coming up for both of these teams. Shadow Demon and Ancient Apparition banned out this time by NoT Today, and Invoker Brewmaster banned out by Union Gaming. With the Ancient Apparition banned out by NoT Today, that will leave the Doom still in the pool. So Union Gaming a little bit more afraid of the Brew than the Doom Bringers, so they will go ahead and pick up that Doom first on NoT Today.
Yep, absolutely. And Doom just... when is he ever a bad pick? I don't know. That's why I kind of feel like this hero needs... I'm not going to be too secret about it. I think this hero is a little bit broken at the moment, but he's not ever really a bad pick, but NoT Today going to go ahead and pick him up right away. And Union Gaming going to secure a Faceless Void. That was a hero that gave them a lot of trouble in Game 1, and knowing that they can't get the ban themselves, they decide that they want to take it to not let it in the hands of NoT Today, which does leave the Lycan in the pool now. The Dire Side Lycan, NoT Today can pick that up if they want. Obviously... Wait, hold on a second. I am getting this right, correct? Wait. Yes. They switched sides? Where's Nova? Do they not have a Nova anymore? Oh, Mihawk came in. Okay. My mistake. Okay. Wait, hold on. Who played the Lycan in the last game?
I can't remember.
Oh, it was IWO. Okay. For some reason,
yeah,
I was looking at the names. I was like, who played the Lycan in the last game? Did they switch sides? No, but this is right. They do go with the Dire Side Shadow Shaman, which is very powerful as well. And Shadow Shaman just... he's just an incredible support. What more can be said about him? Mass Serpent Ward is one of the best abilities for pushing towers very safely. This comes from a hero that really doesn't need a whole lot of farm, just needs level 6. He also scales very well with farm. He can disable a hero for 8.5 seconds, as well as have the Ether Shock, which is a lot of damage as well. It's one of the highest damage nukes at level 1. And also being able to use the Serpent Wards to take Roshan on the Dire side is very good as well. And in particular, this support does incredibly well with Enchantress on the Dire side, just because of the roaming and ganking and the early Rosh.
Yeah, definitely could be an option for NoT Today, since they did go ahead and pick up the Shadow Shaman instead of the Lycanthrope. I'd expect Lycan to be banned out by Union Gaming or picked up here.
They're going to pick it.
There's no way they let it through to the second phase.
I mean, they're just trying to ban all Smash's heroes.
Oh, no!
Alright, well, Lycan's here, but...
Ooh.
That's funny. This is so funny how you always see this out NoT Today. Like, just ban against Smash. Who cares about anything else? And sometimes it works out. It's just... you can just kind of see how he really is the momentum carrier for that team. And I was kind of hoping to see his TA, especially on the Dire side. He plays a very, very good Templar Assassin. And just the way that he maneuvers around the map and takes map control, and the way he dominates the lane is really... something that I enjoy watching, especially just on that hero. I guess it's no secret that I really like that hero, but in a lot of lane counters as well, it's pretty entertaining. Nevertheless, we won't see it. But Ember Spirit's picked up as well. This also synergizes pretty well with the Faceless Void, being able to slay a fist in the Chronosphere very safely. Not to mention that is also Battle Fury cleave range pretty optimally, the same way it is with the Death Prophet silence range. But not today. They pick up another support in the Sand King, so try to secure themselves a bit of AoE team fight and go for a bit of a well-rounded draft, whereas Union Gaming, something I haven't seen this whole series, we're going to pick up a Treant Protector.
Yeah, I don't know. So far, Union Gaming's lineup feels like it has a decent amount of AoE lockdown, just not a lot of damage until the Faceless Void or the Ember Spirit rather get some big damage items of their own. Daedalus on one of them, Battle Fury and the Ember Spirit, maybe even on the Faceless Void, depending on how they want to build him. I'd expect that's not how they'll go for it. It'll probably be just that Aghanim Scepter for the Faceless Void. But either way, Union Gaming, they don't really have a lot of stuff to pump into this Chronosphere. I'd expect this to be an off-lane Faceless Void, and still need something to put towards the mid or the safe lane, so I'll have to see how Union Gaming going to round out their lineup. As for Not Today, the jungle is going to be very important for them. Early on, the Sand King's going to want to stack up to get that early Blink Dagger, and throughout the game, Doom's going to want to be devouring those creeps, and if his lane doesn't go as expected, and he does fall behind, that's going to be where he needs to come back in his defensive jungle.
Yeah, that's always the best thing for a Doombringer, just being able to go back into the jungle, and the fact that Devour actually gives you bonus gold, it just seems so ridiculous that you're able to do that. And you know, if the tower starts getting pushed, well, then you're like, okay, and you just walk back to the tower and get your free experience. It's a wonderful thing. So maybe you don't come online, maybe you're not as flashy early on, but so being able to run that Doombringer in the offlane is still a very powerful option. Not today, though. They are thinking about their fourth pick here. They're going to go with Admiral Kunkka. Very powerful hero that I think is very underpicked, to be honest.
Definitely. That boat buff, it got buffed yet again last patch. 10 seconds on the rum duration. And these heroes, I don't know, Doom especially, is going to be ridiculously hard for Union Gaming to deal with. If they ever decide to, or if they ever get a Chronosphere on multiple heroes and Kunkka's not in it, he can just drop the boat inside the Chronosphere on top of the Faceless Void. Faceless Void, more often than not, will be able to dodge that. But at the very least, it'll give that run buff to the people inside it and make it hard for the Faceless Void to, get them down inside the Chrono duration. Also, that time wasted while he's juking away from the boat is more auto attacks. Boot, yes. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. Getting
I'm
late.
I'm really tired too, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, that's auto attacks of the Faceless Void isn't getting off on your own heroes, is what I'm trying to say. So. Yeah, I really like this Kunkka pickup, and they have plenty of setup for the Torrent as well with the Sand King Bro Strike, as well as the Shackles coming out from the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, absolutely, and the other thing as well is of being able to X marks the spot on someone like Ember Spirit in particular, that can just Remnant away. All of a sudden, that advantage is totally negated. Now he has to go for a Mantis Style, or he has to go for a BKB. Mantis Style does remove X, correct?
Ooh, I think so. I'm not sure.
I've never built a Mantis Style on a hero against Kunkka. It's just, there's so many things.
So many little interactions. I think BKB might be the only thing that takes it off.
Are they going to pick a Morphling here? They banned Elder Titan, so the only reason I would see Elder Titan being banned is if you want to pick a very, very heavy agility carry. The ones that we see normally are heroes like Morphling, Anti-Mage.
I'm not even sure if they're going for a Morphling here. I think just the synergy with the Faceless Void and the Ember Spirit giving them that extra damage.
No, I'm talking about for Not Today.
I know. I know you're talking about Not Today. I guess, yeah, they might be setting up for something pretty big here.
The shotgun is actually very good against Ember Spirit, because if you just catch him before he gets Flame Guard off, and boom, that guy's really, really squishy.
And even defensively, inside the Chronosphere, the ability to save your allies in the Chronosphere is not something to be underrated. Even though you are spending a lot of gold on that Ethereal Blade, and you do want to be bursting down the Ember. Either way, Razor is the pickup for Union Gaming.
Razor's so good with the Faceless Void, with the Eye of the Storm as well, not to mention being able to steal damage from a hero, not necessarily to get that free 224 damage of your own, and having it guaranteed is just invaluable, not to mention Eye of the Storm going through BKB. Then all of a sudden, maybe if you get an Assault Cuirass on either Razor or the Faceless Void, or get a Desolator, just all of that minus armor, that's all guaranteed as well. It's just, it's absolutely scary. Not to mention Razor just in general is such a lane down. Oh!
Ursa Warrior.
Yep, Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Okay, now this pickup, although something not very conventional, I really like it coming out from Not Today. It's a tad greedy if they're not able to get that early advantage with some kills and a Roshan under their belt. But I definitely think they can do it. They have plenty of lockdown with these supports. Shadow Shaman and Sand King in particular are wonderful when paired up with that Ursa. Just anything that can offer that lockdown so that Ursa can get the uptime on his auto attacks is so important for him. That's why you see Scythe of Ice and Abyssal Blade built so frequently on your Ursa. So, I don't know. He could snowball completely out of control or fall flat on his face. Ember Spirit faces Void and Razor late game up against this lineup from Not Today could do very well, and I think Not Today are going to have to clean it out fairly early. But that said, if they are able to get that advantage, their heroes are going to come online very fast and very hard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the only concern is they only have one range hero against a Faceless Void, which obviously is quite a problem when you have the Chronosphere. And well, it looks like we did have a disconnect. That was a little bit... that was actually from the beginning of the draft, I believe. So just... I don't know, hates the game and had no contribution to the draft, I guess. So we'll have to wait for him. Ceremonial, as we look at the Volvo hats. Have you seen this Ursa mask, by the way? The skull of a Ravager?
Yeah.
It looks so clowny.
Yeah, it does. It makes him look kind of like a rabbit, almost. I don't know. Some sort of rodent face.
Yeah, it's not intimidating at all. At least it's not that cowboy hat that got discontinued.
Definitely not. Well,
Kunkka always looks like a gentleman, though.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you're rocking the handlebar mustache there.
Man, wouldn't it be so cool if you could just think of your favorite hero and have it named Grandis? Like, that's just the name of the hero?
Ew, not sure I'd like that. It would be too much pressure to, like, play the hero well. Maybe if it was like their lore name and wasn't actually in game. I don't know.
It would just. It's actually weird because do you know what Roxas like the name is from, right? The Kingdom Hearts series.
I never played Kingdom Hearts, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's just weird, like having been doing esports stuff for a long time, and like I'll see Kingdom Hearts like trailers and stuff, and they'll say the name. I'm like, that's my name. Why are they talking about me?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's just I'm always a fan of calling people by their like actual names too, you know. But
yeah, definitely.
In esports, it's always like, no, that's not my name. Like even one of my friends that I've known for like 12 years, I've known since 7th grade. He doesn't call me Travis. I'm like, all right, Greg. You don't have to call me Roxas. It's okay, man. We're out in public eating. Like, just call me Travis.
Well, either way, still waiting on, I believe... Ooh, what was that last hero?
It was, so we had...
Faceless Void? No. That's on the enemy team. It's another melee hero.
Doom.
Doom, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's it's Mihawk who was coming back, but Nova was the one standing in as the offlaner instead. So maybe we have to have Nova come back.
Maybe.
Did you see the Dota workshop for the little Nova courier? It's so cute. It's
Agreed.
just called Little Nova, and it's like Luna's mount. God, it's so cute.
Yep, well, I don't know. Nothing really better to talk about. So, yeah. Workshop couriers. Support the artists. Go vote on stuff in the workshop. Well, yep. Hopefully we won't have a remake. My Spanish is very limited, so I can't actually read any of that.
You're from Texas just like me. ¿Tú no sabes un poquito de español?
I took French in high school.
Yo he tomado 2 años de español con todos.
Yeah, my Spanish is all from elementary school,
Porque
so
yo soy...
it's not great.
God, I can't think of the word for, like, what I'm trying to say.
I know a lot of trivial words. Like, just something...
Quesadilla.
No, not even like that. Like, lechuga, like, I don't even know. Like, when am I ever going to... Like, when am I ever going to need that? Like, I don't know.
What does that even mean?
Is that lettuce? I think so. I might be, like, completely butchering that.
You seem to know tocino, which is bacon.
Okay, well,
Alright, hey,
learn something new every day.
Let's introduce the teams. On the side of Union Gaming, we're going to have Benyaz playing on Gillette, the Razor. Cinderlin playing on the Ember Spirit once again after that 13-0 performance in the last game. Angel will be playing on your off-lane Void. Zinderol is going to be playing on the Treant Protector, and Jericho going to be on your Disruptor.
And on the side of Not Today, we're going to have Mono playing on the Shadow Shaman, Smash on the Kunkka, which will leave Iwo playing on the Ursa. We're going to have Sand King played by 313B after a fairly disappointing performance on his Marauder. Let's see if he's going to put the Sand King to better use. I'd expect so. And that will leave Mihawk playing on the Doom, finally connected. He's going to bump into the Treant Protector with those boots first. Just making sure there's no funny business going around the Roshan pit, but in the end, we'll just back off.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the potential for level 1 Roche was there, so they're just making sure they check it out. There was a smoke picked up, and Boots first is on Rabbit, so they could go for some sort of gank if they really wanted to, but they're all going to look at each other and then just back off. And it looks like it's actually going to be a safe lane Void and an off lane Razor. Maybe just trying to anticipate an aggressive tri-lane coming out with the Sand King, Rasa, and the Ursa, and trying to go ahead and get a dodge, which is a pretty smart. That's a pretty smart thing to assume, or at least to surmise, but it's going to be on the bad end of that end, as it will just be a defensive tri-lane for Not Today.
Yeah, well, maybe a little bit mind games coming up from Not Today. Not sure if you've talked about, but there's just a casual Smoke of Deceit sitting on this little ramp here. So just not showing it in any of their inventories. We do have a disconnect coming out from the Ursa, so possibly...
Where's the Smoke sitting?
Right. Oh, geez, I just tapped out, but right here.
Okay.
They didn't want to show it in their inventories, I assume, so... I don't know. Other than that, not sure why you drop a Smoke there.
Oh, I remember watching one of these games, and I think it was Ice or something, and he had a ward in the off lane. He like went to go ward down here, and then he walked back, and then he went and dropped it by the tower back over by the tier 2, and then walked back without the ward and showed himself, and then put the ward back on the courier and sent it back to base. It was so next level.
Yeah, it's completely mind games. Ursa's back in, so we should be good to go, and hopefully no more pauses to start this game off. And
for the Cubs. And Smoke popped right away.
Yeah, Mono, as well as 313D, are looking for this first blood, and well, with Shackles and Bro Strike already leveled up, I don't know, this Ember Spirit might get caught out in a big way. They do have the high ground ward.
He popped his Flame Guard. He popped it right away to farm creeps. That's on cooldown for 30 seconds.
Oh, this could be bad. Burrow Strike coming out from 313B. He has the ward vision and will be able to juke down towards the south. I don't know. That ward saved his life. Going for that gank is, I don't know, very hit or miss. It's fairly common to see wards.
Body blocks coming up. Static Link as well.
Will it be enough? All they need is one more punch with the Treant Protector boots. They'll be able to find the vision.
The creeps. They're going to kill him.
Definitely worth it in the end, getting killed on the Ursa for the Treant Protector, but still fairly comical that the Treant Protector did die to the creeps, and Ursa actually got credit for that. So Iwo going to get a nice little infusion of gold, although the experience is still not there, and in fact just got his first creeps worth of experience in this top lane.
Well, now he's going to be supported. Mono's going to go ahead and start a pull, so Creep Wave is going to be pulled towards Iwo under the tower, so he'll definitely be able to get some safe experience there. A couple of denies, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it looks like he's just going to transition to a normal try versus try. Whereas in the mid lane, it will be Smash as the Kunkka against the Ember Spirit. What do you think about this matchup in particular? I think that most matchups just favor Kunkka just because Tidebringer is such an effective harassment tool, as well as lane control tool for pushing out the waves. But I think Ember Spirit actually has some decent kill potential in this lane.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's all up to individual performance in this lane. Kunkka, I'd say, should do fine, and I think Ember Spirit should do as well. Bar misplays, I think this should pretty much just be a farming lane. We are going to have a Torrent land on Ember Spirit, and with that Tidebringer harass, he will be dropped down to about half health, but he is having the bottle brought to him on the couriers, so eventually it will just be leveled down. But all this said, it could be turned completely on its head with some support rotations. Double damage rune picked up by the Doom down in bottom, and for now, the Union Gaming support's still hanging around top.
Yep. So it is also a 1v1 bottom lane with the Void against the Doom. I was about to say the Void against the Faceless Doom, but I think this matchup certainly favors Void. Most melee matchups, Void actually does very well in. The only one I can think of off the top of my head in which he doesn't do the greatest, as far as melee versus melee, is just Sand King and Tidehunter in particular. But most of them, he has great base damage. He has the backtrack as well as the bash. He doesn't need to level up his escape at all. And with the Poor Man's Shield, it's pretty great as far as harassment is concerned. And he has just as much kill potential as the Doom whenever he hits level 6.
Ewo glimpsed up in top. He's trying to turn onto the Tree Protector, but shackled in place by Mono. With the Leech Seed, the punches are coming out the way of Jericho as well. And, well, let's see if we'll be able to get this kill. I don't think so. Stun coming out from the Sand King will be enough. Ether Shock actually secured that kill, and Ewo, he's salving up, looking for this kill. Will be canceled by the rotation from the Razor, and Ursa will just back off. And now the Static Link goes away of 313B. They really can't capitalize on this. Razor stealing a lot of damage with 2 points up in the Static Link, but held in place with the shackles. And Ewo's joined the fight. One punch from the Treant Protector gets the kill on the Ursa Warrior, and now Treant Protector is going to pay for that. Or will he? With those boots, he's running away from this and salving up. He'll be just fine.
Yep. Wow. Lots of action. Would you expect in a try versus try? By the way, Angel, he got some bashes. He got another one. Are you kidding me? He has another leap. He goes and he slows, pops the Scorched Earth, and Mihawk should be able to get out of here.
Yep. I don't know.
20 for 7 against 12 for 0. Angel is absolutely dominating this lane, as I previously mentioned. I mean, I know that Void has an advantage, but not that much.
Yeah, that said, I don't know, just RNG being in his favor, but still Doom has the potential to come back and is doing better than if they did put the tri lane, but still, it would be nice if he were doing a tad bit better. Kunkka picks himself up an invisibility rune and will just harass back the Ember Spirit with a Torrent as well as one more Tidebringer hit, and well, TPers are coming in mid from the support, smoked up Mono as well as the Sand King are looking to make something happen. Ember Spirit, he's pushing out fairly aggressively. Here comes the X, Torrent to follow, and they should have plenty of lockdown to get this kill, and the Ember Spirit shackled. A little bit chained there, Burrow Strike will be nicely synergized. However, with the living armor as well as the double chains, he'll be able to walk that one off.
If only
maybe had they
hadn't stacked those stuns.
Yeah.
By the way, couple supports.
They're rotating in. They're going to throw the Burrow Strike, and now the punches are coming up from the Treant Protector. They're going to throw Jericho up in the air. He will fall, and now all they need is one more smack from the tree. But he's in trouble. He's caught between 3 heroes. Ursa's there. One more. It's not going to be enough. He won't be able to chase him down, and now Ursa is just going to be able to munch through this Treant Protector. Living armor, no living armor. Not going to save you there. Ewo gets a double kill.
Normally you don't want your safe lane carrier to rotate like that, but that time it was definitely worth it as he picks up those 2 kills. So he's already sitting at 3, 2, and 2. He's been involved in every single kill that's gone on so far for his team. So doing pretty well, I would say, and making up for the lack of farm that he's getting just because this Razor just keeps harassing him out. And Razor looks like he will be going for the drums, which leads me to believe that I guess someone else will be going for the mech. Normally on Razor you kind of either go for the fast drums or the fast mech and then go into the Aghanim Scepter. Just basically for the stats as well as the general tankiness. So, unless it's just a casual bracer, but going drums and mech is usually kind of not as worth it because you could have just gotten the naked Aghanim Scepter instead, and that Aghanim Scepter upgrade for Razor is just one of the best in the game.
Yeah, definitely. For now, Union Gaming have 3 of their heroes still sitting up in this top lane, trying to put some pressure on the Tier 1 tower that's already at half health, and for now, it looks like NoT today are not going to defend against that Tier 1 tower push. They are just backing off into the jungle, letting the Sand King clean up a very large stack. Not sure how many stacks that is. I don't know, that's an obscenely large amount of gold. I see 2 Satyrs, 2 Hellbear Smashers, a Centaur, as well as the Dark Troll Summoner, so that's a 6.
6 stack, are you kidding?
Yeah, that's a 6. That's the biggest stack I've ever seen on that camp
anyway,
in a
bottom lane,
professional
Doom
game.
on the Angel. Mono was smoked up and rotated down there as well. But it's just a level 1 Doom. Scorched Earth is going to chase him, though. He has 6 charges in his salve whenever he gets back here. Mono is taking a lot of tower damage. He doesn't have Hex.
Living armor will keep him alive long enough to get that kill in the Shadow Shaman, but Mihawk eventually does get the kill onto the Faceless Void. In fact, Faceless Void gets a kill on the Shadow Shaman after he dies. Oddly enough, not sure how that can happen. But either way, that's how the game calculated it, and I don't think he got really experience for that
tower
kill.
hit. The last tower projectile got him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Never mind.
It's like Diabolic Edict, man. It just, from beyond the grave.
Yep, I don't know. As said before, it's getting late, not thinking as clearly as I'd like to be, but for now we're going to have another pause to collect my thoughts, I guess. I don't know. Let's see.
I apologize for how much I'm saying, man. I don't know, I'm really tired. I've been up for almost 19, 20 hours now.
Well, Ewo is pretty much going full-time jungle, can't really lane up against his Viper very effectively. The Tier 1 tower was taken by
Viper?
Union Gaming. Oh, Razor, yeah, other lane dominator. Tier 1 tower did fall to them, so Union Gaming going to be happy with that infusion of gold. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. As far as Smash's farm is concerned, it's not really the greatest. He's falling behind.
He's been running around a lot. He's collected almost every rune. He's got 29 last hits against, well, Ember Spirit doing a little bit better. I didn't really expect that, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. It's mostly due just to the fact that Kunkka has been roaming around and looking to set up some of those kills. He's currently 0-0-2. And, well, Reconnect coming out from the Ursa, hopefully we're going to be just fine for the rest of this game, but it seems like we're having some server issues.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, but fortunately Volvo lets you reconnect to a game. So we will take advantage of that as often as we need to. But Angel, after his death, is going to go back to the bottom lane. He did not go for any greedy build, did not go for Midas, just goes ahead and goes for the Ring of Aquila into the Poor Man's Shield, as well as a full-on magic stick. So probably just going to see something like Treads into a Mask of Madness, something to get some good attack speed as well as a good farming tool early on that's pretty cost effective. Meanwhile, Smash activated a haste rune. Goodbye, tree.
Yeah, pretty much. Torrent's going to be on the mark. Shackles to hold him in place. They have a follow-up stun from 313B, and now they're chained correctly. Yep, Invisible Urine also picked up by Smash, so going to have the haste as well as the Invis should he choose to use it, but we'll just leave that dormant in his bottle for now. I don't know, this Razor's getting absolutely huge. In fact, I believe he has a completed mechanism. No, just the buckler and the headdress, and still saving up for that last recipe bit, but he's going to have it before 10 minutes, I'd assume.
Wow.
After getting the tier 1. Whoop.
No, I'm just saying that, like, I did not expect him to have that much farm. And
well, you got the last hit on the tier 1 tower, 51 and 13 as far as last hits are concerned, farming excellently on this Razor.
Yeah, he has barely... wow, he probably just hasn't missed any last hits when he wasn't, like, chasing people. That's absolutely absurd.
Oh, down at bottom, Hex onto Angel. They have the follow-up stun as well as the Doom deployed. No Chronosphere is going to be deployed by Angel. The Living Armor is going to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but I think it's just going to delay the Nebula here, chasing him down with Scorched Earth movement speed. And
top
Angel...
lane as well.
Well, action split around the map. They're not going to, or they're going to get the kill on the Ursa and then be able to back out and actually Faceless Void survives and is able to salve up after the fact. So Treant Protector keeping him alive and juking down towards the bottom of that tower, making sure that he wasn't killed there. So in the end, the kill is going to happen up in top lane. Not sure who got the last hit. Let's see. It was Razor, so even more gold going the way of Benyaz here, and he's almost done with this mechanism, even after backing out for phase boots as well as the Bracer first.
That's just absolutely crazy. Razor is not a hero that you really think about being scared of when he's free farming, but he scales incredibly well with items, and I kind of see this more often than not when I see a Razor, is people just leave him alone and then they regret it later, instead of just realizing like, hey, this guy hurts with items. We should make sure we don't just let him free farm, but still. That's what they're getting, and they are running 3 cores. Razor, Faceless Void, and Ember Spirit can all do a lot of damage. And now Razor has his mech and Bracer and Phase Boots finished sub 10 minutes. His net worth, 4.5k.
Yeah, and the rest of the cores aren't looking too shabby either. Ember Spirit finishes up his drums, and, well, as you said before, Faceless Void has the treads, so also not looking too bad for himself. And Union Gaming are looking to probably be able to group up and push should they want to, and maybe take out this tier 1 tower in the mid, and tier 1 tower in the bottom lane as well, just to get that little extra infusion of gold. Not today. After giving that huge stack to 313B, they're going to get the Blink Dagger at about 10.5 minutes for him, and it is being delivered on the Courier. So we are going to have a very fast Blink coming out from the SK. We'll have to see if he's going to put it to good enough use to warrant giving him all of the farm that they have.
I certainly has to, at the very least, even if you don't get a whole lot of kills from it, just the effectiveness of Sand King, whether it amounts to quote-unquote paying off or not, is just always worth the investment, I think, just because of the difference it is, whether it actually makes a big impact in the game or not. But still, it looks like we'll be pushing the bottom tower, and this is one of the greatest things that I see from successful teams, is that they just exploit their early mech. And we'll see, there is a smoke wraparound coming in. Oh, but it's popped immediately. Syndrome, he gets hexed, then he gets doomed, then he gets shackled, then he gets torrented, then he's going to get right-clicked. And Ether Shock is there. He has pretty high movement speed, but still going to go down.
They lose the Sand King as well, and also the Tier 1 tower, so in the end, with all of the spells thrown away at the Ember Spirit, it gave them space in the bottom lane to do with it what they please, but now they go into the Roshan pit. I don't know, Union Gaming should know this is up and they're rotating in. They still have the Chronosphere, and this could be a very sketchy engagement. Let's see how it's going to go down. They drop the Kinetic Field, they get the vision here, and Ewo's going to fall. He's trying to man-fight up against Angel, but he's just dying too quickly. He will fall. Here comes the boat a little bit too late. The Chronosphere is going to catch up Mono as well as the Terrain Protector, but it really doesn't matter. Now they're chasing down the Kunkka without the Doom. Doom really can't do much, and Ember Spear is joining back into this fight. He gets the chains on to smash off of a nice slide of fist, and 3 heroes down after a very risky Roshan attempt.
That was pretty greedy, and especially when Ursa has very few levels in overpower. Normally, you can kind of see just a couple of Fury swipes on a couple levels in the Fury swipe, just because they stack so much against Roche that the percent actually doesn't scale too particularly well past at levels 3 and level 4, as opposed to going from level 1 to level 2. And because of that, he just wasn't able to really get it going super early and get that huge life.
Oh, nice Burrow Strike stun onto Cyberlin, but it's not going to mean much. He doesn't have any follow-up, and now Faceless Void Time walks in with the Mask of Madness on. Mono's falling fairly low, but Angel's shackled in place. They're trying to find who to target, and now here comes the Overgrowth, going to land on pretty much everybody. Another triple stun coming out from the Sand King. Now the boat's coming through. Ursa, he's going to fall, tried to focus somebody down, but to no avail. Now, looks like that's going to be it for this engagement. Mechanism pop by Razor, and they're just going to stay around and push into this tier 2.
Best thing about exploiting this early mech, and like I was talking about in game 1, just with the Dune, is you don't even have to use the mech. Just having the aura with the armor as well as the regen, just sometimes it can be enough, especially when the other team doesn't have one. You can see it making such a huge difference in these fights. And also, it was so funny. Void, went in with the Mask of Madness. And he gets hexing his shackle, and he still has it on. I'm thinking, like, this guy's dead. And there's just a torrent and another couple other spells, and he just backtracks.
Oh, going to have to interrupt you here, as they do have a stun, but now Angel's jumping in. He's hexed up yet again with that Mask of Madness, but he's just going to turn on to Mono. It's such a low-level hex, and now Ewo's also going to fall. They lock down Mihawk, and Mihawk, he gets a triple Centaur stun, but to no avail. Looks like he's going to fall. Score third regen. Maybe he's going to be enough. They doom up the Razor, but now the Chronosphere to catch out Smash, and 313B walks into it. He's going to die for sure. No, the Burrow Strike up to the low ground, or high ground, rather. Overgrowth did latch onto him as he was going up. A 4-man turret, you don't really see that, and well, the Courier died in all of that. Not sure what happened there, or what had nothing.
I think it was near the secret shop, or going to the secret shop.
Oh, missed micro either way, and Tier 2 tower going to fall after another team fight win for Union Gaming.
Well, this is the other thing too. When you're just ahead, you can just 5-man and kill all their towers. It's pretty nice, and Void will be going for that Aghanim Scepter. Everyone gets a nice injection of gold. It will be a Battle Fury coming out for your Ember Spirit. Kunkka will probably be going for those phase drums, but everyone else just not looking close to any items at all on NoT today, whereas Pipe is going to come up for your Treant Protector as well, and the Aghanims, I hate to break it to you, man, but the Aghanims is almost done on Vinyas.
Yeah, I don't know.
Top tower is under attack.
What done? It's just, game is hard, man. Also, Rasa is warding. Alright, he's fine. This is just a classic case of an underleveled support going and warding alone and then feeding just absolutely mercilessly.
Tree's gonna get vision sooner rather than later, Mono.
Dyer's bottom
This is a very, very strange perching smash.
Oh, but here comes the epicenter. It's not really landing on all that much. They're TPing back. They drop the Static Storm, and it's pretty much disengaging. And now Ewo's locked into it. They're not focusing him down, however. Now the bashes are coming out from the Faceless Void. Ewo's going to die on the backlines. We have the Ember Spirit trying to jump around, but Mono is going to be blown up. He drops the Serpent Wards, but they're just not doing enough damage. Now they're farmed up by the Faceless Void, and now Time Walk forward. He's X-Mark gets a bash on Smash. Before he goes back in, now the Ember Spirit does a decent amount of damage as well. And NoT today are just throwing themselves at the brick wall that is Union Gaming. And
Okay, they gave up? Wow. Alright, I did not expect that, but alright. A celebratory Chronosphere, my tower. It's just, the laning phase just went absolutely terribly. And I think everyone was just kind of frustrated after that. Like you saw Smash was just throwing out boats, didn't really hit anyone. The Sand King was getting the epicenters, but it just wasn't doing anything. And 7 deaths on your Ursa after starting out 3 and 2. Well, I just guess they knew they wouldn't be able to deal with the Aghanim's Chronosphere with the Aghanim's Eye of the Storm, and they decided to tap out. So it looks like it will be Union Gaming that are going to be going on to face NoT in the finals of the joinDOTA League playoffs. So a little bit anticlimactic, but that's how we're going to see it end here.
Yeah, I don't know. The risk of going with so many of these melee heroes, their laning stage is significantly weaker. I don't know. In the end, it bit NoT today in the behind towards the end of that game, and well, I don't know, a very interesting ending, to be sure, after the first two games where it was just fight after fight, waiting for those throws. It seems that these teams have just, I don't know.
These games are just, I don't know, man. As soon as I try to start thinking about them, I have to stop. There's just no really explaining it. But what there is explaining is that this content was brought to you by Heflatv. If you liked the content, of course, you can follow us on Heflatv on Facebook and Twitter, and Heflamoke on YouTube, and if you liked us personally, you can obviously follow me. I'm at Twitter, call me Roxas. I don't know what your Twitter account is, Grandis, but do you have one? Or?
Oh, I do. You can find me at GrandisV, GRANDISV, and I update it. I don't know. I need to update it more. But either way, you can find me there.
Of course, and if you like the tournament, make sure you support joinDOTA League, which brought you these games, as well as both of these teams that brought you these entertaining games. So thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you have a good one. Until then, see you next time.